Hello, Fran. Good to see you, dear. Woo! Just getting in from a late night gig. Not late night, but late night for me because I'm getting older. Teasing. Hello, everyone. I don't know who's here. I'm just getting in from a music event. Just want to chat for a while. I'd rather do that and watch TV. So I see some people. Hello, Fran. Hello, John. Shelly. Good to see you fine folks. I don't have any agenda tonight as far as a particular topic, except that things are beginning to move. Are you aware of those things that I'm referring to? I don't mean just generality, just things in general. Things are beginning to move. Like I mentioned in the last burst of light video, a couple of videos ago, that as we look at the earthquake scale, the Richter scale, that when you have an earthquake that is a 6 on the Richter scale, or a 7 or an 8, each number it graduates is to the powers of 10. 2017 was a ride for me. I enjoyed every bit of it. 2018 is a 10 on the spiritual Richter scale, because things like earthquake on a Richter scale, on the spiritual Richter scale, 2018, things are getting shaken up. And it's going to exponentiate. Put on your seatbelt, or rather, take it off. Let the ride happen to you. I'm ready for that. Look out about in the world and things are moving. Things are moving. Fran said, anybody here? Well, I'm here, dear. You and I are here, and we is all that it takes. I want to acknowledge those who are here so far. I see Fran's here. I see a bunch of people, a few people that chimed in and said hello, and they X'd out. Oh, come back and talk to me, play with me. I need someone in my sandbox, y'all. I really don't, but it's a lot of fun just to hang out. Hello, Fran. How are your holidays, dear? Were they good? Things well? Hello, Therese. Golson Howe. Hope you're well, dear. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Just hanging out late night. Open for a conversation. Call someone. Ask them for a good subject. Hell, we don't have to get down to the thick of it. We can just chit-chat. Fine with me. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds. I used to need to use a little boys' room. Late night hangout. Be right back. Thank you for your patience. Fran, if you're still here. Hello, Patty. Fran, if you're still here, please say yes. Keith, I'm still here. I have something for you. I have something for you, friend. I do. Don't know what it is yet. Strangely, more often than not, when I go to the restroom, even at my music gigs, or even just whenever, often I have no agenda. I'm just going to use the restroom. I have no thought. That's the only thing I'm going to do is relieve myself. And because I'm open with no thought, hello, Dorothy, I often get hits of intuition. New ideas, something I need to create, something I need to do, something I need to tell someone kind of thing. Fran, while I was away in the restroom, something said to ask you, this is not putting you in the forefront or in the spotlight to make you feel awkward, but something said to ask you if there's something you've been working with, wrestling with, tackling, whatever word you choose, but it's more of a wrestling with or a tackling kind of idea than it is just trying to figure out. It's more of that kind of energy. And something said to ask you about it, and if you felt comfortable enough with it, to bring it forth so you and I could play conversational ping pong and have it come to a state of resolution for you. I'd like to do that for you, if that's important to you at all. Not that it is. She says, very relaxing vacation, stressful now that I'm back at work. There you go. Hello, Trey. So, friend, it's up to you. If there's something, thank you, Dorothy, for sharing this. Really lovely of you. I appreciate it. We'll elaborate right now. You take your time, darling. So, because it's late night hangout and things are not clinical or politically correct, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I love a late night cigarette. Helps me to calm. Believe it or not, it helps me to stay in my body. I've met one other person a few years ago that if he didn't do things of an earthly nature, like smoking a cigarette, he couldn't function physically. He would just eject out of his body constantly. So it's sort of an adherence and a kind of like a glue to keep you planted. But all that, hello, Pamela. Happy holidays. Happy New Year to you, dear. Hope you had a good holiday. So I'm waiting on Fran because often when I go to the restroom, like I said, I get hits of intuition and something just said, Fran Rowe, wrestling with something. That's kind of the right word, tackling, wrestling, but trying. In fact, the information is already coming through for you, Fran. Hello, Ken. I said that you're wrestling with something, but I think you're going at it from the perspective of trying to tackle something, which is different than wrestling. Wrestling means I'm trying to work it out. Tackling means I want to kind of overtake it. At least that's what I'm getting. I don't have to be right. Fran says, and I'm assuming that I could share it because she wrote it publicly. I feel a lot of hostility from some coworkers, and I'd like to quit. But for student loans still paying. I actually miss songwriting. Feeling the hostility. And Fran, I want to first acknowledge you publicly in front of these people that are in this room, these people that are going to listen to this live broadcast in the future, and who may show up later and read the feed, that you being so robust and so bold and so honest and so vulnerable. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Susan. Fran, what you are doing right now by divulging this thing of yours publicly, confessing, to use a word, is half of the work. You've done half of the work of the situation that you are trying to tackle. Half of the work. Now the other half is possibly taking in what I'm saying to you as your brother, someone who loves you, who got a psychic hit a minute ago, knowing it was for you, as to why you divulged the information. So we're definitely on sync and on time with each other. The word you used was hostility. I understand it's a word you're using to describe an emotion or something you're feeling about a scenario. I get it. Nonetheless, the word you selected was hostility. and you said, I'd like to quit, but for student loans, still paying. Think about the words hostility and quitting. How does those two words, without the rest of the sentence, think about the energy and the dynamic that happens within you when you contemplate the word hostility. Just take that in for a moment. You're not broken. I'm just offering you a morsel. I'm batting the ping pong ball back to you. How does that feel to you? Using the word hostility. And then quit. I get hostility. I get it. Frustrated. Had enough. Wits end. So these are telltale signs of making a shift. But quitting, hello Molly, but quitting implies I won't carry it through term. I get it. Yeah, it can be scary. But that's even more the reason, dear lady, to walk into the unknown is don't quit. Because the diamond in the peanut butter jar is still a diamond. And all that's required of you now is, because you recognize it, is to take that diamond and just wipe the peanut butter basically off of it. Shine and polish that jewel, which you know is your passion, which is I want to write more music. So check this out. Instead of being hostile and wanting to quit, I get it. I want to quit because it's not serving me. That's a noble thing. I want to change, hence the reason I want to quit. But that's watering the weed and not watering the plant. Same intention of a goal, but two different outcomes. So instead of I want to quit, turn your attention to the plant and say, this is now what I choose. Though in the I want to quit means I want to choose that said thing, it will never get you there, because I want to quit only keeps you focused in manifesting those things that you want to quituate from. So what I'm offering to you is turn and now begin to do the things that you choose. Start writing those songs, even if it's for moments at a time, and you expand those moments. And then when you can, you expand those moments, and you expand those moments, and you expand those moments. And now your manifesting muscle about writing songs begins to grow. And next thing you know, you have this spiritual songwriting body mass that equals Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right? Speaking of my bro, Tracy Spencer, what's up, drumming fool? Drummer extraordinaire. Fran says, very profound. Change my emphasis. Brilliant, Keith. Thank you. You're welcome, dear. And I get it. I do the same thing that you do all the time. So, again, a metaphor to what you're dealing with. Let's say someone is hanging around negative people. I get that we want a change to not be around negative people. But by saying, I no longer choose to be around negative people, is watering the weed of our life and not the plant. Because we're focusing on, I don't want negative people. And we keep getting negative people to validate to us how much we don't want it. But the more correct vibrational, harmonic tone, frequency that we are wanting to experience, instead of saying, I don't want negative people, is simply to turn to the plant and begin to water. Dear Lord, this is what I choose, this is what I deserve, and this is what's going to happen. Happy New Year, happy 2018 to you, Fran Rowe. That was your information that came through to me when I went to the restroom, and I got your psychic hit. Tracy, brother, how are you doing, my friend? I miss you, sir. You're welcome, Fran. You are welcome. And Fran, I promise you, if you stay on task and just catch yourself when you go to the dynamic of what has not have been serving you, as to why these things keep showing up. Don't punish yourself when you think the thought, I just focused on how much I no longer want to do this. Now, thank you very much for showing me. Kiss it, bless it, and tell it thank you and love it. And just redirect your focus and take that new wisdom and apply it to the plant with all that same tenacity and muster and oomph and passion and put it into that. Guess what? A year from now, all Fran Rowe is going to be doing is writing songs and selling them. God bless you, dear. God bless you. You're welcome. Welcome out, y'all. Late night hangout. Just late night hangout. And so the title of this broadcast, off the cuff, just got home from a gig, is called And Things Begin to Move. And things begin to move. Look around you. Look around you. Look at the world. I'm not in the political arena, and I'm only saying this to make a point. Look at Donald Trump. Look at Hillary Clinton. Look at the statues coming down. Look at the racism, the terrorism. Ebola was a big thing at one time. And that petered out real quick. The statues in Memphis being taken down a few weeks ago, that was a big thing, and it petered out real quick. ISIS was a big thing a few years ago, and that petered out real quick. Things are changing, and they're turning over within themselves and over within themselves, over and over within themselves, in and out, up, down, and it's all changing, and it's happening very, very fast. In Ebola, ISIS, terrorism, all these things are becoming obsolete because there's a new technology happening, and it's a spiritual technology, and you cannot deny it. Dear Lord, you darn well know you cannot deny it. It's happening. The gate is opening up within all of us. They tried to get our attentions with this. They tried to get our attentions with that. They tried to get our attention with this and that. And it's no longer working because we are waking up. I'm not blaming the them or the they. Doesn't matter what that dynamic is. Because we are becoming solid as a rock, like Peter. It's all diversion. So without going into the outside world and blaming those elite, global elite, I'm not interested in that. That's watering the plant. We can say that the they are doing that. That's watering the weed. We're not into watering the weed. So because we're taking responsibility now and we're able to see, we thought this was seeing, right? I can see pretty good. We do this, now we can see. And now we're watering the plant. Because it's not about the them or the they that's convincing us and deceiving us. We are now awake, so there is no deception. In fact, the they are becoming invisible. That's a monumental, powerful place for the collective of humanity to be in. And I'm blessed to be a part of this time that I'm living in. It's happening. It's happening. 2018, look into the skies. You will see lights. You don't have to believe me. There are lights in the sky. They've always been there. But now we have the conscious awareness, and the bandwidths are becoming available. And we're seeing it. That's why 2 or 3 people can be next to each other, and 1 or 2 of these people look up to the sky and they see a craft. And the other can look up and don't see it because they're not consciously aware to the bandwidth of those things that are happening. But it's changing. It's changing. And heed this quote warning. As much and as soon as we are becoming aware, and as much and as bigger muscles of unawareness in the world is happening. The positive is happening, the negative is happening. The positive is happening, the negative is happening. But there's a way out of both of those, because both of those are an illusion. Hello, Chris. Hello, Dorothy. Both of those are an illusion. And I'll tell you how, and I will tell you why. Because you have a devil and an angel on your shoulder. And we're living in a world of duality, in a world of right and wrong, and they're both yakking at you, trying to convince us which way to go. That's noise. That's monkey-minded noise. That's duality. We're not seeking duality anymore. We're in it. We want wholeness, holy God. We want spiritual illumination. We want awakening. We want to awaken to another level of being where there's unification of all people. Because there are powers in numbers. United we stand, divided we fall. It's not just a cliche thing that Abraham Lincoln or whoever it was that said that. It's a very profound, simplistic truth. But we're realizing, oh dear Lord, we're realizing the truth. And that truth does not need anyone's permission to exist. Let me say that again. The truth does not need anyone's permission to exist. It exists, and it waits for all of us to shut the fuck up and get so quiet within ourselves that there's no longer a bickering, an internal bitching about the politics, about the racism, about the terrorism, about Ebola, about being politically incorrect, about being offended. That's just all noise. Hello, Wayne. It's all noise. And everybody's starting to get on board that train. And we're all headed towards Ascensionville. Woo, woo! Right? I think everyone is becoming illuminated. And they're starting to vibrate. And we're starting to resonate. And we're all starting to resonate to the same key of a song. There's no dissonance. The word universe, una, means one. Verse means song. So universe means one song. The universe is starting to sing like a choir, an angelic choir, music of the spheres. And we're all starting to chime in. And those they people and the them is drowned out. It's tacit. It's silent. Because we're no longer vibrating to the frequency of that monkey-minded noise. And I applaud everyone, including myself. It's happening. As the title of this Center of Light burst is stated, and things begin to move. And the reason the things in the outside world are moving is because we are moving. And we're not moving forward, but we are. But primarily, we're moving inward is what propels us forward. And in turn, we move metaphorically upward. Dig that. We're moving upward. So in 2018, this is no joke. Keith, I'm not sure if aliens exist. That's okay. I am not here to convince you. I am not here to give you a celestial vaccine shot. The truth not needing anyone's permission to exist. Trust me. I've had many experiences since I was a child. Look skyward, you will see it. Look with the intentions of wanting to see, and you will see it. It's not brought up to make you afraid, because there are good and bad beings everywhere. I could go to a club or to a grocery store and see horrible people I never want to associate with. This could be true as above, so below on a cosmic level. There are beings on every level, every bandwidth. God is everywhere. It's omnipresent. So just because you're looking at me, let's say, and I'm on TV and I'm channel 3, doesn't mean channel 2 or channel 4 does not exist. You're just not tuned or dialed into it. But yet 2 and 4 and 5 and 6 and all these TV channels and stations, they do exist. So because life is everywhere, because God is omnipresent and God is life, there are energies, loved ones that are deceased, alien beings, alien meaning that which is not like we are, that live everywhere. Everywhere. Hello, Karen. And spiritual liberation is not about being free because you live in America. That's not freedom. That is not liberation. Liberation means I am free. I am so free of the monkey mind and the filters that blocks my soul's light. I am actually conscious of my soul, which is everywhere and everything. And when you tap into that part of yourself, you begin to see angelic beings. You begin to see your loved ones who are deceased. You begin to see people that you don't like to be around because they're bad beings, negative beings. But as you do the spiritual work and your vibration gets higher, just being yourself, your honest, true, authentic, genuine self, your vibration gets higher. And if your vibration gets higher, you're no longer able to participate, and no longer can those negative entities participate with you, because you on channel 1,000 and they're still on channel 4. It all changes. Look skyward. Look inward. Your loved ones will begin to crossfade into your experience. They will begin to show up in your sleepscape. Keith, it was so real, but I still think I was dreaming. You were not dreaming. When we sleep, we lose the very awareness of our body that we need to stay in it. So when the physical body and the construct of the self-identification mind shuts down, the gate opens up and the spirit steps forward. And we all do this every night, every night. And we learn. We come back and we download something from the other side and we upgrade our system and we move into life and we do things differently. Go back to sleep. We go into the internet instead of the internet, and we contact the soul provider, the internet soul provider. And we walk through stargates every night. And we download something, we upgrade our system, we wake up and implement it in our life. 2018 is going to happen in a big way. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Angie. So if anybody has anything you want to bring forth, I'm open to subject. Anything you want to share? $2018, y'all, I'm telling you. And in 2019, powers of 10. Things are going to exponentiate in a greater way. But also in 2020, powers of 10. It's going to exponentiate in an even greater way. So we might as well give the conscious, deliberate program of being a part of the expansion that's happening. And expansion doesn't necessarily mean, hello, Mott. Expansion does not necessarily mean that things are going to always be groovy. It can be if you are always expanding consciously and in a groove of groovy. But because expansion is happening, if you have not resolved any of your emotional, dear Lord, your emotional issues, they will come back and kick your ass. I'm not affirming that your life is going to be bad. I'm telling you how the law works. God, spirit, our higher self, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. It's getting closer. Not from the outside inward. It is working that way as well. But primarily inward, outward. The divine is stepping forward through everyone. The divine is winding its way through every soul on the planet. And whatever filter you have in the way gets projected on the 3D screen we call life. If you do not like what's happening, you have to change the film. Because you are the director and the producer of your own life. And unconditional love, spirit, the source of everything, as it moves through you, gets projected on the screen because it loves you unconditionally. It says, I love you so much, and if this is what you want, have all of that you like. And when you're ready, and you're done wrestling with this or trying to tackle it, fall back into the Stargate and watch what happens. We go back home consciously. We go back home consciously. And here's the thing. Everybody in the room, Maud says, hello, Keith, just tuning in, love it. If you would, actually, I want you to do this with me. Participate with me in this small exercise. I'm going to take a pause. Keep your focus on me. Just be silent for 10, 15 seconds. Take a breath. Just a breath. Take another breath. and one more deep, juicy, relaxing, I mean it kind of, I'm open to anything breath. You felt it, didn't you? You felt yourself from going to just listening to me to falling into a divine space of a bed of roses, your grandmother's bosom, just being still. You felt it. I know you did. And if you felt it, say, I did. Everybody just say, I did, if you like. And for those who felt it, that simple, non-efforting space, Deborah said, I did. That space, when you stay in that space every day, all day long, as much as you can. Right? Everybody's saying, I did. I did. I did. I did. Here's a gig. Trust me. Stay with your chosen deity. Jesus, Buddha, Christ, it doesn't matter. That is all irrelevant because it's not about the deity. It never was about the deity. It's about the love that existed and or still exists in your chosen deity. It's about the love that exists in the deity. So it's not about the deity. Because it was about the deity would say, worship me, worship me, worship me. And no deity that is in unconditional love mode has ever said that. It's about follow me and or what I do so you can be that with me. Dig that. And so that with me is that space I just put you in. So as you go throughout your day and you catch yourself not being in that space, just go, ah. 3 times, just 3 times. And mean it. And when you mean it, you will find yourself literally shift from channel 2 that I mentioned earlier to channel 3, 4, 5, and 6, and higher and higher and higher up Jacob's ladder you go. Until you do this so unconsciously, because it's now second nature, that your new habit is you're always in this simple, effortless heart space. And I'm telling you this because in 2018, hence the title of this broadcast, and things begin to move. Trust me when I tell you, the political arena, if you're not conscious, is going to kick your ass in this year and forward. Trust me when I tell you, if you're not conscious of everything that you're doing and or choosing, conscious or not, in the terrorism ring is going to kick your ass. Trust me when I tell you, conscious or not, etc., etc., etc. Hello, Wendy Calais. So in 2018, hence the title of this broadcast, and things begin to move. Please, dear Lord, hear me when I'm telling you. Find that space and stay in it. Because as things begin to shift all around you, you will be in a prime scenario to be in absolute control. And I don't mean control by, I'm in control. You're in control by getting out of the fight. Because I'm not being swayed by the current. The people who say this and the people who say that. Who in the fuck is right? We don't know. That's a gamble. And you don't want to be in that place. That's dangerous territory. Your best place, your best ploy, is to be the rock like Peter and not be swayed by the current. To be planted like a lightning rod. I'm happy. I'm blissful. I know the truth because it lives within me and I'm in touch with it. And by your intentions to be in touch with it, you become imbued with it. What? Trust me when I tell you, as long as we hold on to fear, jealousy, insecurity, hate, pain, drama, yah, blah, blah, this, that, nag, bitch, gripe, even if it's for moments at a time, any of that stuff to whatever level, to whatever degree, the universe is going to say, I love you so much, here's a whole bunch of that shit. Pro or con, conscious or not. Remember, the times we're living in, the time we're living in now. Hello, Jennifer Eggleston. Any unresolved issues you have in your life is going to continue to show up for you on a regular basis. And there can come a time and or a day, because as I mentioned, things will graduate, exponentiate, and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. There can come a day when your unresolved issues will become the size of a monster. And it can be so big that on a spiritually conscious level, you will not be able to tame it. And on some level, you will affirm to the universe, God, yourself, basically, at your spiritual essence, saying, I no longer choose to be here. It's just too much. So what you're doing at that point is saying, I want to check off of this planet. And your root chakra will shut down. And you can't create an illness, a car wreck, some way to metaphorically check yourself off of this planet, and off you go. And that's okay, because you will never die, because you are the soul, which is impervious to fear and or death or illness. So the question really becomes, do you want to stick around for the ride of your life, for the greatest time in history to ever be incarnated on this planet? I'm hanging out for a while. I want to be a part of the chain, part of the train, and the transformation. I do. So welcome everyone, late night hangout, and things begin to move. And if you look around you, it will be abundantly clear. Things are moving. Don't buy into what the media is telling you, dear Lord. They are lying to you. They are bought. Don't buy into it. Don't buy into what people you trust and or believe in are telling you. We all have the capacity within ourselves, because what someone tells you that you may trust may be true. It may be their truth. It might not necessarily be yours. Deborah says, oh my God, isn't this why we are here? Keith Anthony Blanchard. We are here to illuminate the world and illuminate ourselves. And in so doing, we illuminate the world. And we do that by being the happiest people we can be, without being influenced by the outside illusion. It's an illusion. It's not real. It's not real. This table I'm knocking on, it's real. Yes, it's tangible. It's palpable. But in the grander sense, it's not real. It's just a bunch of atoms and molecules bouncing around, fluxing around at God's speed. You break this entire room down into an energetic level, it's just it's a sea of energy. So where does the separation begin? It doesn't. But the only thing that is different is this table may be denser than my shirt. And so that's what gives it its vibrational signature as to why this table begins to be congealed as a table and this shirt begins to stay congealed as a shirt. Well, Jesus changed all that. He turned water into wine simply by his will, and called you brother and or sister, and even said in scripture, you will do what I do, if not more. How is that possible? If we're inferior to the achievements of Christ, why would he ever say, why? And that's a question. Answer me, please, because I don't know. Why would he say, you will be able to do what I do, if not more, if we are inferior to his achievements? It's a conundrum. It's actually unanswerable. So between that dynamic from what he said and what people are afraid to think that is true about what he said, a third component happens. An awakening happens. He said, I'm equal to him, hence he called me brother. I am in my Father's in me, and I am in you. That's a circle within a circle within a circle, and it all lives right here. Seek ye the kingdom of God within. But yet we're inferior to his achievements, when he also said, you will do what I do, if not more. So a third component begins to happen. It's like, I'm caught in a scenario. What do I do with it? And in that confusion, co-fusion, two things are coinciding. And in that questioning, the Christ becomes born. The phoenix begins to rise through the ashes. The lotus flower begins to blossom through the murky water. That is what's happening in 2018. And dear Lord, I'm supporting you to jump on board with me or pull me onto your train, if you think that your train has something mine doesn't, I'm in. So I'm going to take a pause. Anyone have something you want to bring forth? Please feel free to do so. And whoever is here, just say hi so I know that you're here, because I love acknowledging people and that you're with me and I'm with you and we can hang out and play and be brother and sister together. Crystal, Fran, at least on my list, Dorothy, Mott, Sexy Rock God, Mom Matilda in the house, Karen, hello Karen, Deborah, Molly. Let me refresh this page real quick. Deborah says, that is why he is pointing to his heart of flame. All love begins with me if you believe. The Sacred Heart. It's the gate. It is the stargate. Jesus was crucified on the cross. The vertical plane comes down. Heaven comes down to earth. The horizontal plane goes across. And he was nailed on a horizontal and vertical plane. And where do they intersect? Right where he pointed. In the Sacred Heart. Look where they intersect. Right there. I am in my Father. My Father's in me, and I am in you. Seek ye the kingdom of God within. Everything else on the outside of that is an illusion. I like stuff. You like stuff. We like stuff. Mott likes guitar amps and guitars, and I like guitar amps and guitars, and we all like food, and we like sex, and we like this. That's all fun. Dear Lord, it's fun. I love it. And that's why we're here, to experience those things. In fact, we are an experiment, and we are the first of creation to become the embodiments of heaven on earth. No other creation other than humans become the embodiments of heaven on earth. There are other beings in the universe that are endowed and enlightened, but we are the only species that can do that. And there are souls waiting for eons to be, and standing in queue, standing in line to be incarnated as human beings. We should not take this life for granted. And so even though we like stuff, and it's fun to play with stuff, imagine how grandiose and cool the stuff gets when our stuff gets great. Then we get to play not only inside and outside, but when those two worlds become unified, again, the truth, the third component begins to happen. The spiritual Christ, the physical Christ, the spiritual Buddha, the physical Buddha, all this becomes amalgamated and unified. And we're no longer living life from the inside to the outside, because now they are unified and we become whole. Holy, derived from whole. We become unified with all that is. God is omnipresent everywhere. There's no place it is not. The dictionary is our resource for language. Omnipresent says present in all places at all times. So if God is love, the only thing it is not is fear. So fear is a creation of our own, and it's an illusion. So when we get out of the bullshit and the mucky mind, and we become unified and playing it like a lightning rod, and that which is the truth that does not need anyone's permission to exist, it all just changes simply in the quiet, in the silence. The silence in meditation can be deafening. Well, how is that? That sounds oxymoronic. That's the two sides of the coin. But when we get out of duality, silence and deafening, that is the zone. And that is where 2018 is heading. Be silent and breathe. Be still and know that I am God. In that exercise I did a while ago, that simple 3-breath exercise, imagine if you did this for 30 minutes every day. That 3-breath exercise that helps you to fall at least somewhat into the beginning or crossing the threshold of the zone. Wow. It is more quiet since before Keith did that exercise. I'm feeling something that's silent, but yet, dear Lord, in the subtleness of it, it's powerful. That is the deafening silence. And in that silence is God. In that silence is infinity. In that silence is the golden ring. In that silence is everything, not only that you can imagine, but the possibility of everything that falls short of even your greatest attempt. (2018) it's not just a number. It's a vibrational change. It's a vibrational tone. Everybody at the beginning of 2018 said 2017's over. So that is 6+ whatever billion people on the planet saying, we just come to an end of a period. Now 6+ billion people say, oh, wow, we're in a new period. You can have one person build a house. It'll take forever. Or you can have 6 billion people believe and help you and support you in the same idea, and it takes no time. It's metaphorical. As above, so below, it does apply. Now that everybody, 2018, is convinced and believe we're in a new time, we're all supporting each other in newness. Collectively, we're sending out to creation a supplication. Please support us in newness. And so guess what happens? Newness begins to come into our life. And now that our conviction from 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, times the powers of 10 for every 10 years, for every year. Because like on an earthquake, Richter scale, earthquake shakes. This is a spiritual Richter scale. Things are being shaken up. So before I close this broadcast, which is titled, and things are beginning to move, you're beginning to vibrate, my friend, in ways you can't begin to imagine. And the world is beginning to vibrate. And it's changing and it's separating. And I don't mean separation. Hello, Sylvia. I don't mean separation as a spiritual illusion. Separation meaning in and of itself as a truth. The poles are moving apart. Good things are getting good. Bad things are getting bad. But if you want things to be great, get out of all of that. And be the pillar. Be the rocket. Be the lightning rod. Be the anchor. Be the peace like Peter, the rock. Because the good's going to happen and the bad's going to happen. I'm not interested in the bad because it's bad. I'm not interested in the good because it's not good enough. Turn the fire up, get in your space shuttle, and launch it. And let everybody see what you're doing with your passionate fire that you're using as your shuttle fuel. And if we collectively do this, the world will have peace overnight because the bickering will stop. Hello, Ben. The bickering will stop. Because it's not a bickering that's happening in the world. The bickering that's happening in the world is only an internal bickering. Because as long as I see there's bickering in the world, it's because I'm the one that's saying that there's bickering in the world. And so I'm looking through a filter of bickering. And so therefore, the universe gives me perspective that there's bickering in the world. But when we change the dynamic within, and even though someone may be bickering, I no longer choose to see it as a bickering. Well, Keith, that doesn't mean the bickering has stopped and it's still going to have an effect. No, it does not work that way. That person or people may be bickering among each other. That's their experience. Because I choose to no longer see it as bickering. I choose to see it as people working things out. It changes the vibration and the tone completely. In fact, because I'm now changing the vibration of what I'm seeing, it now has an effect on them. Because you're now the dominant tone. And guess what? Because they are part of your spillover, they just stop bickering. By the lives that we live, in the example we set, people have the opportunity to see what a higher life looks like. The whole purpose of Jesus' life. Jesus didn't come in and bicker. He walked around and exposed himself through humility and said, this is the ticket. They came in to baptize with water. Now I come to baptize with fire. Fire, passion, passionate fire. Open that gate and let the divine fire move through you, dear Lord, and express itself into the world. You will change people in the room with you who has no idea that you're even there simply by being in your essence. Mott says, be the pillar, solid internal compass. That's it. That's the compass. It's me, it's me, it's me. It's you, it's you, it's you. It's never them, them, them. It's never them, them, them. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to take a pause, get some water. If anybody has anything you want to bring through, please feel free to do that. Late night hangout. I get a little wild hair or tame hair. I like wild hair. Broadcast titled, And Things Begin to Move. Tomorrow when you wake up, look out and about. Notice things are moving. You will see posts from people you've never seen it before about UFOs. You will see the same stuff on the stream about terrorism, racism, statues being torn down. That's all bickering. It's all noise. I'm not saying you don't love your history about the statues. The question I pose, are we quite so sure that the history we were taught is the actual truth of history? Because if we knew the truth of history, then maybe we wouldn't be so upset if those statues were torn down. I'm not trying to change your belief. I'm just trying to give an idea and insight to get out of the fighting and the bickering on the outside world, because the outside world is not the truth. The truth lives in all of us. And it's not the statue. It's not the beliefs in our head. And it's not this. And it's not the person that pissed me off. It's about being the rock. Hello, Chris Leveron. Hello, Kayleen. Hello, Marie Foray. So thank you for joining me, everyone. I'm about to sign off. We're talking about and things begin to move in the world. The world is changing. Don't buy into the world changing. Be a part of the change itself. In fact, influence it. Don't be swayed by the good. Don't be swayed by the bad. You create your own tone that is greater than the bad and even greater than the good. And take the good to a level that everyone now has to catch up to your pace. That's what the world really needs. Well, this is good. Let me just hang out over there. That's not good enough for me. I want divine fiery bliss. And hope that everyone within the listening distance of my voice chooses that for them. To say, I am so on fire. I'm conscious. I'm looking at this camera. I see this microphone. I hear the sounds in my room. I know the taste in my mouth. I feel the temperature on my skin because I'm hyper aware. I'm aware. I'm not just aware like a fish swimming in the ocean, just consciously aware when a shark can eat me. And I know many of you are as well. I'm hyper aware. I'm fixed. I'm present. I feel the temperature in the room, the taste in my mouth, the fact that I'm talking to you, what's over here. I hear the sounds around me. There's a motor outside running because I'm next to an industrial train station. This is all part of my expansion. And when you live in that kind of hyper-expanded state, you begin to feel the presence of Creator. Because God is omnipresent. God is infinite awareness. And so we expand ourselves like working out at a gym. We expand our awareness mass. We become aware. And become aware, and become aware. And as we become aware, we begin to see that we're not separated from everything. And 2018 is about, it will bless you in becoming expanded into your bliss, or it will bless you equally by becoming expanded into your non-bliss. Guess which one I support you in? Before I sign off, everyone, if you're interested in my lifelong work, I have a program called RPM. You can find that at keithanthonyblanchard.com or centeroflightradio.com. You'll see a Ferrari at the bottom of the page. Hello, Mr. Brian Harden. Click on that Ferrari. It'll take you to my lifelong work. Look it over. It'll tell you everything you get, everything that you will create, and you have one-on-one sessions with me to help you refine your process of something you want to move through, something you want more of. Not necessarily more of on the outside world. That's fun stuff. More of starts here in the fertile ground. Mr. Brian Harden is in the room. Tomorrow night, I will be interviewing Brian Harden. Check this out. Brian Harden has 180, give or take, gold records that he's produced under his belt. He's in the room. That's a blessing. This man is living his passion. He lives his life in yum and not yuck. As Brian says, you can live in yum or yuck. I'm going to be interviewing him on Center of Light Radio. Brother, you are welcome. You are a beautiful man, powerful man. On Center of Light Radio tomorrow night, centeroflightradio.com. Centeroflightradio.com. Click listen live. We're going to be talking about future hacking, the evolution of consciousness. And he's powerful and phenomenal at it. He's produced, oh dear Lord, everybody you know. This one, that one, Zeppelin, Kid Rock, Prince. I mean, I may have some wrong, but you get the idea. I'm trying to pigeonhole him. Give him the support he is due. Yeah. So again, y'all, go to centeroflightradio.com, KeithAnthonyBlanchard.com. Click on that red Ferrari. It'll take you to my lifelong program. So tonight's broadcast is about, and things are beginning to move. And they are moving. And so instead of putting your seatbelt on, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I'm asking you to take it off. But Keith, if in 2018 is going to be this bumpy ride that you're talking about, well, bumpy can be good. I like a good Ferris wheel that throws me around, right? But take the seatbelt off out of trust. That space I took you to earlier. Those three simple breaths that helped you fall into a very simple shift of simplicity. Try this. Just try it. We think this is where our consciousness is. Quite convincing. Our eyes are here, our nose is here, our mouth is here, our ears are here, our taste is here. But allow your consciousness just to simply fall. Right there. That is the requisite for a blissful 2018. It's not a bad affirmation, but trust me when I tell you, the truth or the law does not need anyone's permission to exist. And that law is beginning to reveal itself in such a way that in 2018, if you do not adhere or begin to follow the models that are brought through in this broadcast, you will have a spiritual ass spanking. And I truly do not wish that for you. It's not a negative affirmation. The truth is becoming obvious. And the light will begin to reveal our shadow selves. It'll create us headaches. It will knock us on the head. Only with the agenda that it loves you. To say, I love you so much. I can't change the law. I'm knocking you on your head, hoping that you will see it. So you can move into the conscious life stream. Because if you're not a part of the conscious life stream moving with it, you will become the rapids or the rocks that cause rapids, only to be ridden out with care. Trust me when I tell you, nothing you want is upstream. You paddle upstream, if you find it yourself lucky to get to the top, you will find yourself only like a salmon to be eaten by a bear. Put your oars down. You don't have to turn. Just put your oars down. The current will turn you, and merrily, 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 your life is but a dream. Down with the stream you go. By living in effortless ease. You buck that current, 2018 and 2019 and so forth and so on, will not be pleasant for you. Contact me if you need me. KeithAnthonyBlanchard at Gmail. Keith, I want my free 30-minute, 45-minute session. We talk about something you truly want to move into, greater degrees of, something you simply want to create from the outside world. I will help you become the fertile ground and help you get clear about that which you want to call to yourself. I will help you to expand into greater capacities of who you really are. All right? Always know I love you. What time tomorrow? Deborah says, let me refresh my page. Tomorrow it's 5 p.m. Central Time if you're Central. Well, Central Time if you're Central, yeah. 6 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Pacific. Again, y'all, thank you very much. I love you. Peace, love. Live in the light, because that is what you are. I choose to no longer ignore that aspect of myself and the beauty that is me by just simply being me, and the beauty that is you by just simply being you.